Are you looking to increase your body count and up your game with the ladies?
No, the higher the body count that you have, I am more prone to like vote for you. You know, you can donate. So I can put in like $10 if you want. Like you can have a interesting.
The second anthropological lens on that. So actually, do you believe that higher body count means more competency in socio-political affairs?
Yes, it means he can get a bigger crowd. Like he is a captivating person. The bitches and the dudes. It just comes dudes. I think.
Humbly, kindly, if you'd be willing to donate to the campaign to elect John Kitover, the clubhouse user, to Congress. He's running for Congress in the 16th District of Illinois, and we're collecting donations for the campaign. If everybody on Clubhouse could donate $1, $1 or $2, or even $5 or $10, George Percy has recently donated $5 to the campaign. And if you could consider donating $1 or $5 to the campaign, it would help me get a hotel room when I go to Chicago to collect signatures with the candidate for John Kitover. So please consider donating to the campaign. Jumbotron, and you do.
Like John, my friend, can you answer the question? Like, what is your body count?
Sorry, Shashi, I signed an oath to be an adult and mature and not engage in frivolous conversations. So any further questions like that, you'll be put to the goose, Shashi.
Oh, I'm sorry. Trump is known to be ladies' man, you know.
Clubber is a potential campaign donator.
Yeah, what's up, John? What's your thing? What's you doing for?
Is this pockets?
I think if John had Trump's life, I think John would definitely score much more than Trump. I think that.
Well, this is.
Yeah, tell me about it, John. What's your campaign?
I just think John's a good-looking guy, better looking than Trump.
John has a speech.
John Kitover is running for Congress in the 16th District of Illinois. That covers Rockford, Peoria, other towns to the northwest of the town of Chicago. John Kitover, a house user, known to some as is running for Congressman. We're being damn likely.
Well, no, especially I'm saying like I can go for a study hall for you. I'm asking like what's your decision?
So I did an interview which covers about 10 different topics. Link is in the chat, but I can answer any specific question you want.
What's the biggest problem in Illinois? I don't know about it.
Property taxes, income taxes.
Love that.
All right, that was scam likely.
Hey, John, what do you think about like pedophiles?
Cashing in your city, trolling city.
Shashi, you have been warned. I mean, I have to move you to the audience, unfortunately, because I want to connect with Clever. Oh, I made him a moderator. Wait a minute. Don't in the room. All right, sounds good. I don't have permission to move others to the audience. Shashi, please move yourself to the audience, if you will. I'm going to just remove him from the room.
Yeah, Zach, create a house and call it campaign or just call it candidate Congressman John Kitover or John Kitover fundraiser or something. But create a house.
Well, we should that, but I am currently driving.
Yeah, that's
cool.
cool.
I have to go in 12 minutes.
In the future, don't just do a public room. Do a room on record and make me an admin in it, so we have the ability to do this. Because honestly, rooms like Monica's in the muff, as you can see now, are just a complete and total waste of time. So. Yeah, I want to use my time productively here on this app. I don't want to hear N-word, F-word people talking about how white people got everything because the government gave it to them and there are the reparations. I'm not going to waste my time.
I thought that guy was joking, but I agree with you.
Yeah, so Monica is an idiot.
For the campaign. And so Clever, even though John is just a Clubhouse user and you might not even be a resident of Chicago, you could still consider donating to the campaign, $1 or $5. I think we should look up the legality of this. Can you collect donations from everybody across the country?
It needs a good foot in the door, so
you can.
Yeah, the rules are also on the link above on who can donate.
Okay, nice.
Get it, John. I hope you win.
Thanks. You live in Illinois?
No, I'm on the West Coast, but I support you. I also
until you listen to the John
No, it's
Kitover
not.
podcast.
Listen,
John, you should put the link.
can I finish my thought?
I'm sorry, but yes.
I joke about that because, I do go around I go through actual city halls trolling them, like, in a productive way. Like, hi, hello, this is, like, making a joke of, like, actual subjects because it draws attention.
I was just going to say John has a nice podcast that he did. John, you should put the link to that podcast in your bio here probably so people can listen to it.
Yeah, it's a good idea. It's called On the Prairie.
I think Trump is a response to Western civilization and especially the United States seemingly zero tolerance policy towards alpha males. Alpha lives matter.
Mhm.
That's it.
It's kind of funny because, like, if you are alpha, you eventually overcome the beta.
You get fucked if you're alpha, if you're too threatening, like Joseph and his brothers and Potiphar's wife. It's hard to be alpha in civilization.
I think it's important.
It triggers status anxiety in people. Trump is like a fantasy of the alpha that Elon Musk, they are outside of having to be accountable to everyday workplace bureaucratic culture, and they run the show. They're on top of the hierarchy, but they're outside the norms of the hierarchy. So they're able to just actualize the positions that challenge the norms that are good for society. They have the luxury of having the resources to put themselves in that position, representing that position. They just sneaked out of the swamp. They climbed out. They were able to. That's what the swamp is. The ritualistic bureaucratic norms and networks and hierarchies. As per Chuck Schumer, Nancy Pelosi, all the government that works.
What made you want to be a politician?
It was the first time I ran for committee person, and I saw how incredibly difficult ballot access is and the lawsuits that I had to go through with the Chicago Republicans and the fraud that I witnessed. That's what has pushed me into wanting to fight and resist in politics.
Exactly. The best way to beat a system is to be a part of it. Beat it from the inside.
Yeah, it's a
That's
real
the biggest
challenge.
reason I want to be a lawyer. Just pay a shit ton of money for that.
Well, I mean, lawyers are essentially extremely advanced communicators, and yeah, I mean, people get paid for communication consulting in a way. That's what a lawyer is, because there's lawyers on here who will play word games with you and put in an extremely complicated sentence that you don't know the legal definitions to, and they'll act as if that makes them smart because they know the definition to some technical legal jargon, and that's not real intelligence. That's just regurgitating.
No, that's litigation. Litigation is boring.
I mean, if you just read the Constitution and the Declaration of Independence and you have a great understanding of that document, you're smarter than 99% of the people in this country.
Snap, I'll vote for you. I'll establish a residence today.
Well, you can give $1 today if you want.
Yeah, you can donate to the campaign.
That dollar will travel
If
far.
everybody on Clubhouse donated $1, just like the Rebbe, that would be amazing.
Honestly, I'll do both. What's up? Honestly, I'm leaving you. Get it, John?
Thanks. A lot of people on this app have been very resistant, and basically that show. I told Zach the other day, I was like, I have very little hope for humanity because you would think that people on this app would want to support you and have your back because you've been here and you've been in communication or community so long, but it's the exact opposite. You get attacked the moment you try to move up the hierarchy or try to improve your situation or accurately describe a situation. You get boomed and busted and shot at and chopped at, and that's life. It's not it's not for the timid, it's not for the weak, but the fact of the matter is most people are so self-centered, narcissistic, egotistical, and petty that they themselves will never achieve anything because they never help other people get what they want, so thus they never get what they want.
Absolutely, Tim. Some people just like hate to see you succeed.
Well, I'm not even succeeding in anything yet. If I can get on the ballot in March, it'll be a success. But the fact that people on
How do we
Clubhouse,
get you on the ballot? Is it just money?
well,
We need to collect signatures,
Yeah.
and then I need to fly out because I'm John's secret weapon. You need money because he doesn't really have exactly enough money that I would be expecting to
Oh yeah, but
protect the
how do we
signature
get you on
campaign.
the ballot? It can't be that hard, right?
We just need signatures.
Alright. Let's go.
Well, but it has to be clever. Do you want to come to Illinois and drive around and collect signatures? Because it has to be people on the ground in Rockford, Peoria.
Nothing going on.
She's down. There you go.
I'm self-employed. I got shit going on.
Do you really have the ability? If you hire people for $15 an hour, how many people? But how many people for how many hours could you actually employ?
I would do like a flat, like if we're actually campaigning for a good cause, I do like a flat rate, just like $200 a day, some per diem. I got you. I'll run around.
Well, we need a lot of donations. We're gonna need a bigger boat.
But no, I believe in you. Let's make it happen. It's possible. Dreams are possible.
well, I would say that like anybody who actually wants to come to Chicago to get signatures should spend like 30 days raising money on Clubhouse first because it's pretty much all self-funded. I mean, I have enough.
Absolutely.
Everything is day to day because right now I'm getting a lot of messages from people on Craigslist from posts that I put up to do signature gathering this weekend. And proof is always in the pudding. So, anybody who's local and can easily access, petition areas, signature areas, high density areas, people like those are the people that are going to get the priority for the dollars that we've raised. But Friday, I have a big interview coming up. It's going to be on TV and the internet and print. So Friday is a big campaign day, and that trip will be paid for by people on Clownhouse, people that apparently hate me now, but still gave money to the campaign, and either they gave money directly or indirectly because, like, Hakima gave $100 because he got to kick Monica to the goo. So
that is amazing. Wow, really? That is amazing.
Isn't that amazing?
That is pretty awesome.
Hikima is one of the biggest donors. Jay Breska is the biggest donor, and he hates my guts. Isn't that ironic?
Wait, why did he donate to the campaign?
I don't know. We caught him in a moment with Roger Mayhem in the room. He's like, "Fuck it, I'm voting for you, John. I'm giving you money." Blah, put on a little show, gave all the money, but now he kicks me from the room.
Amazing.
Yeah, if I go to his room now, he goes, "I'm kicking this piece of shit." So it's like, people are schizo in their decision making, where, it's like it's insincere. I mean, I'm transparent. People don't like me because I've recorded them and basically, maybe put them in a light that they couldn't control the branding of because I've recorded it. But it's all in their mind's eye because like nobody looks at my videos. I have no influence. I have no reach, and so I'm just playing a game with people's brains, and I've agitated them, but I've not impacted anyone. I've merely, created a psychological conditioning.
Well, manipulation is a great tactic. It can be used for good or bad.
Yeah, I'm trying to use it for good. I'm trying to get people to get in touch with what they're saying because many people on this
Yeah,
app.
sometimes you
Yeah.
gotta twist their brain a little bit.
Well, if people watch their playback because they're so scandalous, I mean, it can help calm people down because they realize, you know what? I am coming on here and road raging nonstop like a psychopath.
Yeah, I've been there before.
Well, it's not healthy for you, and it's not healthy for other people to do toxic communication on this app 50 hours a week.
Absolutely not. I think there are certain rooms that just like it's kind of like a self therapy thing. But like people that are serious, I believe in your dreams for real. I'm about to send you 350. I got about 350.
Awesome.
It's a South Park reference, guys. Like the Loch Ness monster. He's like 350.
Loch Ness.
It's a South Park reference. It's silly.
Did you see the actor who played the Trump penis guy on the recent South Park episode? He wants credits.
Oh, jeez, I haven't seen a new season at all.
Yeah, he didn't get a credit, so he was upset about it. There was an article all about how he's demanding.
Isn't that ironic?
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm actually I'm broke as fuck. I'm about to send you 350.
Just send me $1. $1 would be awesome. No need to send 350.
I'm 350 lucky.
Well, when we spend your money, I'm gonna text you or email you.
Here we go. You got your $1. Alrighty. I have to add a shipping address because I'm on Apple Pay, so shit. I don't know. I guess I need an address, but you can send it to me privately or even I think maybe like a zip code. Just a zip code would do it.
Shit, what day is it?
Because I can just make up an address out there and I'll just zip code it. It'd be fine. But yeah, I'm willing to donate because shit, I believe in a dream. I'd be nothing without the people that support my dream lately, so shit.
What are your dreams?
I'm an artist, I'm a musician. Yeah. Well, I've been self-employed for 10 years, but it's been kind of rough these days.
Do you have a YouTube channel?
I do, but so I just had to restart it. I got banned last year because I made a video of Joe Biden falling up the stairs to like my shitty dubstep music that I made drunkenly, and I got banned for that. Like they literally deleted my channel, so I just started a new one. And I haven't really been putting a lot of effort into this one, but I do have one. Maybe I'll post it. You're an inspiration, John. Keep going.
You're the inspiration. What's your real name?
My real name? My government name?
I mean, if you donate $1, I'll know your real name.
Yeah, I guess you would know my government name. It's Coral. Coral like the reef. Yeah, that's my real one. My fake name sounds faker than my real one.
Isn't coral like used by some kind of animal, and then that's how it creates the coral?
No, coral is like it's a plant that's alive in the ocean. Coral reefs. We're dying.
No, not. Well, isn't there two ways to spell it? Like, I have a friend who's Polish. His last name is Coral, with a K.
With a K, that's corral. That's what that means, like a horse stable. Coral with a C is the ocean. I had a friend named. Fun fact, actually, quick story, just kind of funny thought. Once when I was in grade school, I first used into the U.S. and they had no desks, short on students, short on funds, whatever. And so it was Coral with a K and Coral with a C. We had to share a desk, so we're sitting side by side. We became best friends. This bitch made us sit in the same desk. That's crazy. it? She got miss it? We like, you know, and then we eventually like share our little pencil games. Like, she was the cutest thing. I wonder where she is now.
Well, George, thanks again for the $5. We will put even $5 to good use.
I guess I could like Venmo you. You got a Venmo?
Yeah, thanks. I wish you the best of luck.
I know you're pro-Israel. I'm pro-Israel. Israel's my number 2. My number 1 is America, and then Israel's my number 2. So I think anything extra or left over, or where we want to send money overseas, Israel is my favorite place to send it, because I think it's keeping the world safe from international terrorism.
I love that. Absolutely. Because like, what can one man do other than start a community? Yeah. But it only takes one man. I wish you the best. I hope you win. I only got so on Cash App, I like asks for like your address and stuff, so I have to like at least give me a zip code, or I got my.
Yeah, you can Cash App if you want. I'll put the Cash App in the chat, but
I don't see it. I don't use Cash App very often. Venmo would be my preferable because it goes straight to the bank.
Yeah, don't sweat it. I don't have Venmo. Or I don't really use it.
Man.
That's okay.
You can send me a zip code. I can Apple Pay.
Oh, you can click the link above on Apple Pay.
Yeah, I tried, but I need a zip code at this time. I don't know, it might be something on my end or your end, but it's asking for like billing information, and it's not like for me. I don't know. I'm trying. Because honestly, John, I hope you win. They need some changes out there, man.
So there is a part of this where people
and pedophilia. So I don't remember anybody talking about black on black crime. If that was going on, I missed it. And if you recall, when Mother was like, "Hey, let's move on," I even said, "Yeah, let's move on from the topic too. It's early. Nobody really wants to talk about pedophilia." I know, but by that point, Monica had asked you for the statistics. You provided them. As long as it's not. Okay, I can go to downtown Chicago right now and chill and be cool and not be shot up. Are there areas in the Chicagoland area, there are neighborhoods that are unsavory? Absolutely. But we have to stop this narrative that Chicago is Chirac, because it's not. All right.
This is how it went down. Hold on, let me see.
Hold on, I'm gonna respond to her. I don't think I said that.
demographic of people, you know. And then we started getting into, how does poverty play into that and different things like that. And then another guy came in, I think it was Mother, with his per capita data on Black people and violence. And I'm like, oh, here we go. On a good Saturday morning where I was enjoying my Cheerios. And so that, whenever I hear that, because they love those statistics on Black people per capita and violence, that's when I chose to come in with my per capita on pedophilia and white men.
Gotcha. Okay. I missed Mother saying that. And so my apologies. Okay.
I actually don't remember Mother saying that, but okay.
We know you don't care.
Exactly right. You were on.
So so to answer your question, how can I sit and listen? I'm just listening and chilling. I know in these types of rooms, and not when I say these types, not just in the month, but rooms that host various topics. I know we will eventually move on from this topic, so I'm just letting it play out, and eventually we will move on to another topic. Yeah, and Othello, I think there's no need for me to I suppose, insert my black card into the conversation because I feel like you're doing a good job representing the Black Coalition.
Well, yeah, like I said, there's a reason why Joe B said, like Joe B's being quiet right now, but she knows that was the basis of the convo because that's why she said in the comments, Chicago is a war zone. And then they started talking about New Orleans food because they were talking about how New Orleans was one of the most violent cities.
I live an hour away from Chicago. We're getting trickle down of the bad guys. Don't tell me about Chicago and what
What's
they're
the
doing.
nickname for Chicago that I didn't coin? Who coined the nickname for Chicago and what is it?
I first heard Chirac from Spike Lee, I think, but I could be wrong if that's the word you're referring to.
It is. And I didn't know
Seeing the amazing ingenuity of the people in Nepal, people stuck in the mountainous regions of Nepal, people cut old plastic drums to create a brilliant system for transporting water downhill. By connecting these drums, they create a channel through which water flows without the need for expensive pipelines. With this ingenious method from Africa, you can fit a cylinder in and out without touching it. Seeing the amazing ingenuity of the people in Nepal, you will be
that was set in Chicago about the Chicago violence. I don't remember.
I think there's more Hamas members in Gaza than there are gang members in Chicago. And like I said, I support what Trump's doing, honestly, because no matter how many people there's when a bullet hits a child, that's when it's gotten out of hand, and when people can't police their own neighborhoods. But I think trying to paint Black people as inherently violent,
Who did that? Who said that?
my end goal was to say that there are more white sexual abusers than there are Black gang members in America, and I stand on that.
Well, let me just say this really quickly about the Chicago violence, which a lot of people in Chicago, my peers and professional folks, one thing we've noted is Chicago has a lot of CCTV. There's a lot of surveillance cameras, especially in certain neighborhoods, and yet all this violence that they claim goes down. I'm not claiming that there's no violence, but it's interesting. They don't have a lot of arrests. They can never solve any crimes. They can never tell you who did it, right? They can never trace the bullets back to the shooter, considering all the cameras that they have, right? And then they want to blame it on lack of police and the politicians. And it's like, okay, all this technology and surveillance you have in the city, but you don't know who the shooter is. You don't know who's committing the crime. You can't make any arrests. The cases go closed. The cases go cold. Very interesting.
Well, I've watched a lot of documentaries on Chicago. I've done some extensive research on the communities that were displaced from major project buildings and scattered throughout certain neighborhoods. And what I did find from several documentaries is that there are a lot of corrupt
a lot of that speaks to some of the theories that a lot of Chicagoans, a lot of natives have about some of the violence here. Again, we're not saying it doesn't exist. But the media blows a lot of it out of proportion. And sometimes, residents do as well. But I guess it all depends on the proximity to the violence, right? I remember it's like when I first moved to LA, and folks would say, don't go down to Watson Compton, don't go down to Watson Compton, you'll be shot, this, that, and the other. And I remember the first time I found myself having to go down to these areas to handle business, and how nervous I was because of all the violence, you're going to be shot. And I would hear on the news and TV, and then I finally would go down there my first time, and I'm like, what's the problem? It's just a normal neighborhood. It's just a normal city. Nobody's fucking with me. Nobody's following me. There's not gangs, causing havoc on the street corners. There's no drive-by shootings. Again, not to say these things aren't happening, but it's just wild. Once you actually live in a situation versus take the narrative from the media. I'll say this in Atlanta. There was even a white guy I remember at the time for one of the news channels out there. He had the same kind of fear, so he took a camera. He documented for the news channel. He said, I'm going to go down to Watson Compton, one of these black-ass neighborhoods that they tell folks, don't go down, she'll be shot, it's all the violence. He decided to go down there with his two-man film crew to walk around his neighborhood as two white dudes with a camera crew, with a camera and a microphone, to see what would happen. You know what happened? Absolutely nothing, right? And so he went in expecting violence and chaos and racism and to get beat up. And, he ended the day enjoying probably some Roscoe's chicken and meat, vibing out with the culture, right? So that's why I always push back when folks, especially, not giving you shit, JB, because a lot of folks do this. Chicago's a war zone. Chicago's the worst city. And sometimes the people say these things and they've never been to Chicago, they've never visited Chicago, they take it from the news, right? And it's like, our mayor, the mayor down there and mayors before him, they've not pumped billions of dollars in certain areas of this city, gentrified the city, moved, the unsavory elements, pushed them out of certain neighborhoods into the suburbs, which many suburbanites don't like, right? They haven't done all this to feed and foster the bad elements of Chicago. So I hate when our people, and I mean fellow Chicagoans, help the media push this false narrative that Chicago's a war zone, and it's not. Because when you say that, to me, I translate it as you're saying, all of Chicago, you can't go there, you'll get shot, it's bad, and that's not.
I said that as it relates to the surrounding communities of which I live in one. And we get a lot of trickle down.
And I get that and I respect that. And that's why I said they push the unsavories out to the suburbs and the surrounding areas. I understand that 100%. And you said that moments ago, and I figured that may have been your perspective, and I totally respect.
All right, so I'm gonna take a minute on the mic. Othello came in expecting this to be a white space, and he started with the insults, and he was expecting to hear that 13% of the population is over 50% of the homicide. But Dylan and I broke that down once, because it's not 13%. You say half of Black Americans are male, that's 6%. Then you say 6% is, then you have to go by age, right? Because the youth tend to be, in all demographics, not just Black Americans, the youth tend to be risk prone, pro-life. So we calculated about 0.7% of that group of people are the homicidal maniacs that chain murder people for here, not used to the way we do the rooms, and unaccustomed to people not getting triggered from his narrow framing and having a full throated conversation civilly with him. So, you know, there's
Well, you know, NY, Serenity, you know, Joe,
serendipity.
Matt, Serendipity. You know, they're not going to sit here and let you lie on me. I didn't insult anyone. I've been even keeled, and I've only talked about the data. So I think you still have some personal things that against me, you know, for bringing up these stats that you need to work out, or we can talk in private.
No,
But I'm here to have a civil. I'm here to have a civil conversation, just like anyone. And I think I've been, like I said, pretty even keeled and balanced.
You refuse to address the rates of other races. You focus, hyper focus
No, that's what
on
the data
the
focuses on.
percentage.
That's what the data focuses on.
You take the whole and you examine everything.
That's what the data. Look,
And I've asked you several times for solutions, but you really don't care about the solutions.
I do have solutions.
You didn't share them the 5-7 times I asked for them. Let's hear one.
I did share.
Can I ask a question? Do you think that maybe both of your perceptions could be true? I mean, perhaps you picked up on the fact that you felt like Othello wanted to pull this particular demographic of stats to, in his words, point a mirror at the white people. And do you think that maybe simply because of your experience and your other engagements on Clubhouse,
With Othello,
we
we follow each other, serendipity.
Okay. I don't know. I feel like this is more personal between the two of you than it is about actually having the conversation. I feel like there's a little bit of one-uppance going on between the two of you.
Well, I want to have the conversation, and then when I actually started to see, this is the thing, they love talking about the data
Who's
points,
they?
but certainly when I bring up these demographics, and just like how you were able
Like
to,
you brought up the demographics. No, serendipity, no, it's fine. I'll behave, I promise.
you just brought up like specific data points on black homicide rates.
Do you disagree? I thought you would agree with that framing. No?
Where someone like Certainty, right, and NY, they're able to explain the nuances from within these communities of why certain things are the way they are. You don't care about that.
When you're telling me that I'm wrong, that 0.7% of the 13% are responsible, that wasn't nuanced enough for you?
You need people like Certainty.
I'm holding on tight.
You need people like Certainty. You need people like NY who can explain to Joe, right, who will never go into these neighborhoods, or a lot of the white people in this room, even you, who will never go and rub shoulders with these black people, right, and give you the nuance of why things are the way that they are. And even when I gave you a nuanced perspective on the crack cocaine that was introduced by the government into Compton, that was the first neighborhood where the crack was introduced and planned to be infiltrated into these ghetto neighborhoods in the 80s by the mafia, by the government, according to Gary Webb, who was later killed. And his feature film, Kill the Messenger, explains what happened, right? As soon as I said that, you said, oh, we gonna blame the white man. So you don't want to hear the nuances of how these situations got the way they are. You just want to talk about the statistics to push your own agenda, which I think is black genocide.
Wait, whose agenda is going to the sun? Who?
You and all the people
You're right. No, we're just like, I apologize, serendipity.
The same rooms talking about the same talking points and pull up the same statistics on black people in our homicide rates, right? You guys, when it's time to talk about the nuance and it's time to talk about black trauma, to talk about how we can get out of this mess. You don't want to hear that. You don't want to hear how it got there, and you don't want to hear about what we can do to fix it. All you want to do is push those rates, right? So that they can do what they're doing now, and that's send in the National Guards and have police states. That's your agenda. And that's these white men's agenda who came in with those original statistics and then disappeared once I came with the statistics on pedophilia in the white community.
Here's if I may add, here's a principle I try to follow, because just so that it results in peaceful conduct, right? A lot of folks misconstrue the definition of a debate versus a conversation. See, if I'm going to participate in a debate, the first thing that needs is equal and unbiased moderation, right? So if you invite me to a debate, especially on Clubhouse, it's most likely that I'm not going to attend if I know that there's not going to be balanced and unbiased moderation. That's number one. Number two, if you're having a conversation, right? A conversation is where both parties or all parties involved in the conversation can have dialogue. One party is going to take whatever information that they can from that dialogue, whether it's a refresher that they already know or it's new information that they're learning, and then the other party is going to do the same, and you're going to walk away enlightened, or like I said, refreshed. So I think a lot of times folks are trying to have conversations with people who are trying to debate and vice versa, and I find that to be unhelpful.
Roland Fryer in the Jumbo Twitter. 13-year-old speech in Barcelona about education and about how he observed the successes in limited resource schools, still producing scholars, still producing children who academically achieve. And what he found was bribe the kids for good grades, have an environment and a culture in the school that actually fosters recognition of academic achievements. It's a great speech. It's 80 minutes long. I can bring it on a replay to Clubhouse for people who are really solution oriented like I am, but not right now. But I do invite people to check it out because he's a brilliant economist, and I think he should be listened to, despite the scandal of his accurate research reflecting poorly on the mainstream media narrative that black men are hunted for death in our country by police.
How about those dogs?
Can I pet that dog? Can I pet that dog?
I want a puppy for real. Oh, happy Saturday, everybody.
So I admit to being annoyed and irritated and mildly aggressive, but serendipity was not wrong.
I think because of prior experiences, both of your arguments are a little disingenuous.
Well, okay, now you've got my attention. What part did I say that wasn't? No, ma'am. Seriously, don't tell me I'm disingenuous and not tell me how.
I don't think it has.
What did I say?
Okay, are you going to let me talk? Are you going to let me answer the question?
Yeah, because I need to know.
Okay, let me answer the question. I don't think that either one of you statistically said anything that was inaccurate. I think it's the tone and the inflection and your engagement that is disingenuous.
Well, explain to me how. Because I don't think you're using disingenuous correctly. You can say irritated, you can say obnoxious, you can say arrogant, you can say
Correct.
but not disingenuous.
When all of those things apply to a conversation, you are engaging in that conversation disingenuously.
But I'm not. I'm highlighting hypocrisy and the double standards. And the fact that he doesn't give me the 0.7% and recognize that that's as nuanced as you can possibly get. And just recognize the parts that I'm right. I've never disputed his data. Never. So I think you're wrong on this one, friend. And we can agree to disagree.
We can. Like I said, I just think clearly you guys have engaged before.
She's wrong.
Genuinely with people that you just met and you have these conversations, there's a much different air about you than there was with Othello. That's my only point. I've heard you have these conversations and I've heard you have them really well.
Because no one has the data that I have. No one took the time to look up the data.
The data that you have is on the government website. Of course.
Yeah, what I'm saying is no one even cares to look.
Oh, I've been in rooms where they've talked about the population of white people and pedophilia. I've been in rooms where they've talked about the population of white people and serial killers. I absolutely have. I've had those discussions too. I'm just saying, I don't think that either one of you were really interested in actually having Othello. I'll be quite honest, my impression of you, this is why I was a little bit taken aback by how I felt Monica was treating you. My first impression of you was I felt like you were very reasonable. I felt like you were not emotional. I felt like you were trying to highlight things, and when you explained your whole premise behind, pointing a mirror at other people, like all of that resonated with me. I felt like there was a lot of genuineness there. It took me, probably because I don't know you, it took me a little bit longer to determine that, okay, you and Mon obviously have history. And so some of this just passive aggressive back and forth, like I said, it just doesn't necessarily do well. But I thought you'd been most pleasant and most polite on the stage. I'm happy to.
Two of our cronies ran off because they couldn't deal with the data. And that's Mother and Will. So it's not just me and Monica. The whole room was talking about this when I came in.
I will have to tell you, Mother and Will are definitely not Monica cronies. they may have not wanted to engage in the conversation. Number one, Mother is Mother. Okay? He's, I can totally see him being one of the ones that's like, oh my God, it's Saturday morning. Do we have to wear now? Like, that's how he is. He's performative. And yeah, these rooms oftentimes start out really casual and how's the weather and boring, so I get that. Like, he's definitely not a Monica crony. And Will isn't either. I know that specifically too.
What? No,
I know, Mom. I'm sorry.
Wait, Will really doesn't like me?
I didn't say Will didn't like you.
Now I'm being in a private.
You know what I noticed about this app?
What?
And it's identical to real life. So, I was in a bunch of rooms, frequented a lot of rooms at one point, moderated a lot of rooms. And I just noticed the pattern of Black folks arguing about the fact that Black men don't marry Black women. Or if they do, they take too long to do it, and so forth and so on. And there was just a reoccurring, consensus of that, right? So I went on the National Archives, did some research, and found the actual stats, and it showed, and not only broken down what makes why marriage was declining in the United States overall, but it also showed that Black men, married Black women see I got to the right women, and you women, if you get it in the right room chat, it's going go, 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 right? So all of a sudden, they stopped talking about it. It just like literally it was like magic. After a few weeks, there were no rooms like that. But then next thing you know, they found something else to argue about. And there were rooms about that argument over and over and over. So people,
Never do so. What did the Joker say in the Dark Knight? Never do something you're good at for free.
That's right. Why am I the only drug guy in the place?
I'm in the bunker entirely for preparing for the war against Iran. The wondering if you're gonna fly out and you want to be a battle commander this time point. Big stupid dummy. Big dummy stupid person. Big stupid dummy.
Yeah, because before we had anybody, although there was recently an exception, they'll probably show up tomorrow. I always ask, especially the women, is it okay because their cell phones or their Google or whatever phones are there? But I didn't ask for Richard because Richard has been coming to the show for almost 4 years now. He's also gay, and so I didn't think it was necessary to ask the women. No, actually, I did. I put out a text saying, anybody object to Richard being part of the Mod Squad? Everybody came in affirmative, so there you have it. But we're coming down towards the end of the show. We're going to be ending in exactly 21 minutes. So if you want to come up and speak, please do it now, because it's going to get increasingly difficult, if not impossible. And if you want to come up, but you don't know what you want to talk about, this is what I refer to as the best 2 minutes on Clubhouse.
Passenger jet rocked by turbulence. The plane diverted as millions traveled through the Labor Day weekend. The United Express flight from Aspen to Houston flying into turbulence. Passengers tossed around the cabin.
Yes, good guys. You don't need to speak a lot of stuff, babe.
The plane descended more than 3,000 feet in less than a minute. The pilot reporting injured passengers and requesting a stretcher. It comes at the height of what is expected to be record travel over the holiday weekend. Also tonight, tracking thunderstorms and rain from Texas to the Dakotas. Temperatures up to 15 degrees below average for much of the country. Leave over with the Labor Day forecast. New Orleans school shooting in Minneapolis as children scrambled to safety. One of the shooter's father allegedly told police about the suspect's most recent relationship and why authorities say security procedures in place during mass likely saved lives. Tonight, amid the turmoil with the CDC, major pharmacies limiting access to the COVID vaccine in some states as cases rise and millions look for guidance from the nation's top health officials. The news breaking just moments ago, an appeals court ruling on President Trump's sweeping tariffs. One ago, law enforcement officials telling ABC News the administration is planning to surge immigration enforcement operations as early as next week. How city leaders are reacting tonight. With the college football season getting underway, the University of Miami football player now facing charges in the deaths of 3 people killed in a high-speed crash. The Powerball jackpot now worth $1 billion. The Labor Day weekend drawing now the largest jackpot of the year. And Robin Roberts returns to the Gulf Coast 20 years after Hurricane Katrina. The children of the storm surviving the devastation, the moment their childhoods changed forever, and how they're still learning to cope with Katrina's lasting emotional toll.
Yeah, happy Labor Day weekend, everybody. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you have a great time. Stay safe. College football is starting, and man, of course, we'll be back tomorrow. But if anybody wants to come on up, please, now is a good time because the show is going to end in 19 minutes. If you've never checked out, it's Ask the Autistic today, right after my show. Yep, check out Christian's show. It's worth a listen. And
These are just parasites.
Everybody is welcome on my stage, arguably except for John Kitover. And the Mod Squad.
That's candidate Kitover.
Well, no, actually, he's not a candidate.
That's true. He doesn't have the signatures yet.
Yeah, right. So he's not on the
You know how
ballot.
much
Therefore,
people
he's not
get paid to do this, Steve? Like, people
paid to
charge
do what? He did pay to do what?
to collect signatures. They're
Minimum
politically.
wage. You told
No,
me.
but some people want as much as $15 a signature or $10 a signature
You're kidding me.
to go and no,
No shit.
this is a real.
It's a real business. Oh yeah.
People go and hire themselves to candidates to collect signatures.
I would have figured it would be minimum wage plus a certain amount per signature as a bonus.
This is a little lucrative, Steve.
No, I'm sure it is, and I see these people hanging out in front of the market or whatever, and sometimes I'll take a listen to them, and sometimes I'll sign it. Sometimes I won't. It just depends, what they're doing. Sometimes I want things on the ballot, and sometimes I don't.
Uncle Steve, would a candidate's participation or lack thereof in the lifestyle affect your support for them? Did you guys have that congresswoman from LA from California who was just swinging?
Yeah, she was having a threesome with one of her aides. Yeah.
I would see that one.
She was a female.
I would vote for her re-election for that.
Yeah. I don't know. I could never run for office because I've got way too many skeletons in my closet. I've got literally thousands of hours of tape, and what I mean by tape is like on Clubhouse recorded stuff, podcasts, and someone could, piece together 15 minutes of saying fuck this and screw that and piece of shit that. There's no way I can be elected.
Do you think Donald Trump has changed this? Like, has moved the goalposts? And I think that pre-Trump, right? I think your anxiety about your skeletons and stuff is probably reasonable. But don't you think in the age of Trump, I mean, what could disqualify you now?
Trump did it. Well, firstly, okay. Other candidates could do the exact same thing as Donald Trump, and they would be out of politics immediately. But a lot of this stuff slides off Trump. Take, for example, what's his name? He was on Saturday Night Live, and he was a senator. Who was it? Al Franken.
Franken, right.
Okay. Now, Al Franken was
the Senate.
I was just going to say, and firstly, we don't know if he did or not. I don't know. But his arm was twisted, and he voluntarily left, was arguably pushed out, but he wasn't recalled or anything. The word is, and again, I don't know that much about it, is that it was all bullshit. And then, of course, I guarantee you that he will always regret doing that, walking away.
And Mitch McConnell defended him. Mitch McConnell said that what we should do is have a Senate ethics hearing, like we would do for any senator, and he probably would have gotten some sort of reprimand. Hey, be more careful, or whatever in Alabama, and had was picked up girls in malls or underage girls. And Gillibrand wanted to look like the Democrat. We clean our house, right? We're not like these Republicans that run these people with all these skeletons in their closet. And Al Franken became the sacrificial lamb of the security. And it was a travesty. That woman what she did to him, and he was a good senator. That guy actually went to work. He did his committee work. He actually enjoyed the Senate. I mean, he was not a do-nothing. It was terrible that guy.
Then you have the senator from Iowa or Idaho. Is it Larry Craig? Which one is it, Macho?
Yeah, Larry Craig. I'll tell you what, man.
Okay, he was
looking for a
Republican.
Looking for a friend in the bathroom. He should have got.
Okay, so it is Larry Craig. Okay, so he was a Republican senator for decades or whatever, and he totally conservative, totally supported human values, totally rallied against LGBTQ, and here he is caught in a sting operation in an airport bathroom of all places, trying to pick up on a stranger in a bathroom stall. Okay? So talk about the hypocrisy.
It's always the Republican senators if you're looking for a good time, Steve.
It's always the people that rally against this, that, or the other. And sorry, I was going to say, unfortunately, it is Republicans who say family values this, nuclear family this, I support this and that, and I rally against this. And here they are in their private lives. And in fact, take what's her name? The new representative. She's got 4 kids. She's about 40 years old, in her 30s. She was caught. In fact, she apparently was recently hospitalized. Total Republican values, had no experience. And here she is at a children's play on Sunday with her boyfriend grabbing his crotch. Right? Well, what's her name again?
That was who was that Congressman? Yeah. Giving a hand.
Lorena. No. Wait. No. Who was it again, please?
Lauren Boebert.
Lauren Boebert, yes. No experience, has 4 kids. She gets elected to Congress. Total conservative, allegedly. Totally rallies in favor of traditional family values. Her friend is a man who owns a drag nightclub, a drag bar and grill, and then she's in a Sunday matinee with the boyfriend, a children's program. He's grabbing her tits and she's grabbing his crotch. Okay, great traditional family values. There's so much bullshit.
Boebert, though, has given us a new term in the lexicon. When I'm in a movie now with a woman, I sometimes lean over and I say, any chance of getting a little Boebert act?
Exactly. So, people in politics, they used to be, and in fact they still are, they have as much credibility as a used car salesman, and a used car salesman probably has more credibility.
I was just saying, do you make out with the date in the movies? I mean, my feeling is now, I just went to the movies. I spent so much money.
I haven't been to the movie theater since before the pandemic.
I spent so much money staying at the movies. I wouldn't make out because I feel like I want to get every minute of the movie. I'm spending, I think it was $17 or $18 or something for a matinee. I mean, I'm not missing a second of it.
That's exactly right. I haven't been to an actual theater since before the pandemic, but something that might bring me back in for the first time in 5 years would be the new Bruce Springsteen movie, Road to Nowhere or whatever like that. The new Bruce Springsteen movie, which is coming out in a month and a half. I might go to the theater for that one. But other than that, I just wait for them to come stream online or whatever like that, and cable and watch them. So let's see, we got 9 minutes left. It's time to say goodbye. Christian, would you like to say goodbye? Christian going once.
Yeah,
Christian, please do.
Yeah, thank you. And I would like that, honestly. I think I only got here in the first, maybe since like 8:45, so I haven't been here for that long. But I think it was a great show. I think that you did a great job as always.
Thank you.
And I hope to see some of you on Ask the Autistic today. And obviously, send prayers for Lynn as she recovers. And we'll hopefully see her back next weekend. And stay safe and stay blessed, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you. First class escort to the VIP. Benjamin, would you like to say goodbye?
Yeah. I think we made good progress. We restored harmony on the Mod Squad today, and we corrected what was really kind of like a fracture within the Mod Squad, which is that the Mod Squad was like hating on each other. The proper way to keep the Mod Squad together is to make sure everybody hates on me, and so that was restored. We got that back, and we certainly reviewed whether we like doxing or don't like doxing, and I think everybody in the Mod Squad is agreed that we like doxing and we don't like doxing. So it's good to have consistency. Everybody in the Mod Squad is consistently confused
on that, and that's at least consistency is the what does John call it, the hobgoblin of small minds. But anyway, we are consistently inconsistent on doxing, and that's real progress. I would just say if Scott wants to watch the whole movie and have a little fun, he should take Loretta Bobbitt, who Lauren Boebert, sorry, Lauren Boebert, not Bobbitt.
One grabs your crotch and the other cuts it off. Yes.
Yeah, you gotta be really careful with your body.
That's right. Exactly. Yes.
But if you take the right one to a movie, Scott, you might be able to watch the whole movie and enjoy your date at the same time. Just saying.
By the way, the last movie I saw in the theater was this new Superman movie, and I couldn't say enough good about it. It was worth the money. It was really good.
I have to close at least by encouraging everybody to lose their religion if you have one.
Of course.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Can I get two?
Yeah. First class escort to the VIP.
Please.
Whoa and woo. And let's not forget and always remember that Cora absolutely, wholeheartedly forgives me for drunk dialing her, and Violet wholeheartedly wants me to drunk dial her. And with that being said, let's say goodbye to Cora. Cora, would you like to say goodbye?
Goodbye, everyone.
John, would you like to say goodbye?
Goodbye.
John, there you go. Alfonso is on the phone on behalf of him. He says goodbye to everybody. Violet, would you like to say goodbye?
Really curious blend of topics and personal stuff today, Steve. I really was captivated the whole show. I will see you tomorrow. Goodbye for now.
All right. Alfonso, would you like to say goodbye? I know you just got off the phone. Yep, that's his sign. Goodbye, everybody. And last but not least, the XO, the co-captain of the ship, Reverend Scott. Would you like to say goodbye?
Well, Steve, this has been a great show. I often think where can we go from here after great show after great show, and then we just continue to exceed expectations. Great show today. Fare thee well.
And with that, we are done. Again, friendly reminder to the Mod Squad, please check the group text. This is only what's referred to in the law as declaratory of existing law. I've advised all of you during the show to unblock people. Currently, there is one exception, that is John Kitover. If you want to block anybody else during the show, you need my express permission. Otherwise, you will be kicked off the Mod Squad. We've had that rule forever, but today it was just really disruptive. So that's the intent. Feel free to comment. If the majority of the Mod Squad does not like that rule, if the majority of the Mod Squad likes the show being interrupted by so-and-so can't get in, if that's what the majority of the Mod Squad wants, then we'll just let people block who they want, and people won't be able to get in. But hopefully the Mod Squad agrees with me that with the exception of Kitover, you need my permission to block somebody during the show. After the show, reblock them. I don't care. During the show, I want everybody to be able to participate. I want everybody to be able to get on stage. I mean, I'm the first one to say multiple times during the show, I don't care if I like you, don't like you, agree with you, or don't agree with you. You could get your fresh five. Just be respectful, have a take, and don't suck. I wish you and all your families a fantastic remainder of your Saturday. I'll be back tomorrow, 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, with Ask the Atheist with the Mod Squad. And let's close with this. Have an amazing Labor Day weekend, and don't be surprised if someone questions you.
Shut the fuck up, Steve, loser.
To pull back the veil and fight all of the information that's being
These
funneled out
fucking
through social
losers.
media.
I gotta get the hell out of here. Let
So
this shit run.
this is an even bigger agenda.
John Kitover rule.
Necro, I love what you just said in chat. That was actually,
I need to put that on a shirt. He put, I think if you consider Mr. Rogers a bad influence, you're probably the bad influence. High five.
Mother, Will, welcome back to the stage.
What do you have to say for yourselves, gentlemen?
Oh, I'm back, but I also did have to say I caught the tail end of this conversation. So I hope I don't miss any context in my reply, but I do think it is fascinating that the way Americans are taught history, because they completely it's basically like American history is not like the education system. They focus on painting America as the victor and the savior of the planet and, all of these greatness, and just glosses over the fact that we have overthrown governments that have been politically elected. We have put down dictators in different countries and then manipulated them and then got rid of them when they were no longer convenient. The average American has no idea that we have done this at least 80 times. Right? So then it paints this distorted version where Americans don't understand why there's so much hostility from the rest of the planet towards America. And it's like, it's because of the way people are taught education in this class. They just gloss over anything that is negative and ignore it. Or not even negative, like,
Do they gloss over it, or are they taught it differently than it actually occurred? So,
well, it was just a minute in my education. I only learned from it from my parents because they have a Dominican. They went to high school in DR. Like, I didn't realize that we had back the dictator in DR. Like, they put him. The U.S. government put him in place and had him have the president that the people wanted after overthrown. But like, this is one country. We've done this in all of Latin America. We've done this across the planet. We have been involved in like over 95 wars. Through the, backing different insurgencies and even fighting against what the locals want. But nobody talks about this. Nobody gets that, doesn't get.
it doesn't, except for college, every school, in every country, they're probably only saying the positive things about the country. What country is teaching the kids in elementary school and junior high school and even high school the bad things about the country? Probably nobody. Look at Korea as an example.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, Americans, like, that's why a lot of people that are, like, in this country are so, I'm so confused, like, why do people have such negative pushback? That's kind of what I'm talking about.
I was an adult before I realized about all of the evil atrocities that we had done, not only to other countries that opposed us, but our own people. Like, the atrocities in America, it's some freaking sick shit, dude. Like, really, I'm glad that people are, but I consider myself a global citizen more than I do American, because if you don't open yourself up to the idea, at least, of other cultures, other world views, if you don't at least open your mind to it, you're gonna stay in this weird little, I don't know, man. I don't even know. It's a delusionment that people in America seem to have. But then again, like Edie just pointed out, it might be that way in many other countries as well. I don't know. I believe that some of us didn't have growing up is that they have the internet and they have social media, so they can see things that we had no access to until we read a book. Very good point. Very good point. I'm 46, so I'm right there with you.
Well, sometimes I wonder if that is part of what's making the next generation. Oh, sorry, a lot of problems with me. But if that's part of what's making them miserable, is too much access to information. Because sometimes, like, looking at this sad shit all the time, it's not really like. Sometimes I have to cut it out because it gets.
Well, and it's also, I think, sorting through what is correct and what's not. If you just look at the internet, you could either think that, the Palestinians have been completely wrong, in supporting Hamas and the whole country, sort of deserves they get, or you can think that Israel is the aggressor, and, it's sorting through what's correct. I think that's a lot for people it's a lot for adults to do. It's certainly for kids. But at least they can see that things aren't what you're meant to believe, as a child. But yeah, I think it is very difficult for anybody. Plus, they live in a state of not knowing what's real now. Like, literally, you don't know if what you're watching on YouTube is an actual person. Or you do not know what's real anymore. And my youngest is 15, my oldest is 28. But my youngest son, I was wearing his Oculus the other day, and I wanted to go play. I was fishing. I wanted to go to the bathroom. I wanted to take it with somebody might be literally able to watch you through your mirror. And yet, that's the reality my child lives in because it's real.
Is our next gen inquisitive or paranoid?
Two things can be true at the same time.
My point exactly.
Well, apparently Gen X is depressed and isolated according to.
No, we got off all that present years ago. We're just fine now. We just needed a few years to recoup.
And socially awkward.
Oh, we're definitely that.
Yeah, and then Gen Z is like telling the boomers that they suck, and the boomers take all.
Oh, that's 15 years ago.
They tell millennials they suck, and it's like we know.
Yeah, no, the thing about Gen X is that there's like 10 comedians that have given a weird, warped view of what Gen X is. We're none of those things. Okay, just because we share a few pop culture references doesn't mean that any of us are the same. There are so many different fractions of groups in Gen X. It's unreal. But everyone kind of thinks of us as one particular group that, we had to be in, by the way. No, we didn't. Like, I mean, maybe some people, but that doesn't apply for all of us. One thing all Gen X does have in common, though, is that we were all told to toughen up, get over it, don't cry, don't let them see your weaknesses, get your shit together, go to college, and make something of yourself. Every last one of us was told something along those lines. So now it's kind of hard for us to, when our kids and other people's kids are coming up and, my feelings are this, and rub dirt on it, shit, what the hell? So it's kind of hard for us dealing with how to talk to the younger generation in a way that doesn't fracture, hurt, or completely dismantle them as people. You know, how, especially as employers, how to talk to people in a younger generation because we just weren't raised that. We just don't. We get it, but get over yourselves, dude. Go do your fucking job. Seriously, you have a job that you're being paid for, go do your job. That's simple.
And that's why the pharmaceutical industry is booming. You know, we take 3 pills so that we can feel. And I think that this new generation, wants to do the work that it takes. The newer generation of kids, they want to know the truth. They're going to get the truth by any means. They want to feel and they want to go into the opposite direction that their forefathers went. Of just, ignore the inner world, ignore your emotions, ignore your traumas and whatnot, and pull yourself up by your bootstraps. And so there's like this great pause happening as well, where I don't feel like, yes, they could be isolated, but they're also just taking time to sit, and observe and figure out what direction they want to go into.
To my experience,
fascinated by my son, and literally he got picked on one day because his voice cracked when he had said something, and he said the dude down. He's like, "We are both going through the same shit at the same time right now, man. Why are we not aligning on this? Like, seriously, like puberty sucks. All of this sucks. We need to be on the same team. Like, why would you come at me for something that obviously you're going to go through? We're all going through. Like, dude, sit down with me, friend." And him and the kid are really good friends now today. But my son's got this very deep understanding of human psychology that I still don't think I have that level. He just gets it, and he has a way of talking to people where people really like him because he's like, okay, well, I'm living this experience right now. Could you either help me or just step over there for a second because I'm getting through this moment, and I got to do this. So can you just hold on for a second? And it's like, I never would have thought to say that to somebody who was coming up to want to fight me. I'd be like, what? You want to fight? Hold on. Put my hair back. Somebody hold my shoes. Let's go. But that's just not the way his brain works. And it's beautiful. And I give him all of the space he needs to be able to feel these things and to act the way he acts and to be who he is because it's such a beautiful thing. I wish I could be more like that. I hope I could be like my kid when I grow up,
Yeah. No, I think it's interesting if there's entitlement, but to my experience, the people who have called me entitled just happen to be the most entitled people I've ever met in my life. Maybe like usually they were like people in my family. A lot of them were really old.
A lot of people think white women are entitled. We're not. We have to work just like the rest of y'all.
Yeah,
Yeah, a lot of men are definitely ignorant of the challenges that most women go through. Like men don't know what it's like to go through periods. So yeah.
Wait, I feel like Mother had something to say.
I was just about to say something, but I was like, what is this a peaceful room? We see that. We need some drama. I mean, I brought this up in a different room, but I have never, in rocket society, seen one group climb so quickly through affirmative action than white women. They have been, they took that system and benefited so seamlessly. And it was like, wow, you guys literally use all the diversity hires and racial quotas, and now you are outperforming men in 20 years. And I was like, isn't it nice to have DEI when it benefits you, right, with white women? But now because you've already got what you wanted, fuck everyone else.
Well, to be honest, Mother, they're not angry that they didn't go to school. They're angry that their kid didn't go to school.
Alright, they didn't go to school when they're labeled. The labels gotta go.
What? What do you mean the labels gotta go?
You know, you're a white woman, my grandson's a black man, my daughters are Hawaiian Pacific Chinks. I mean, it gets old, really fast.
This is the weirdest thing about Americans. They just want to do, we don't look at color. No one else on the planet does this. There are Asian Hispanics, there are black Hispanics, there are white Hispanics. It's not really that big of a deal. In America, you have to forget about we're all the same color. We're all a mirror, red, white, and blue. This is so silly. Who cares if you're black American or
yeah, that's kind of the point.
Outside the old statement, I am what I am.
Well, that's one of the points I made essentially, where people talk about how racist the South is, and how much better it is up north. The fact is, there's a point that was made by a black female comedian who said that, the North was so racist, they segregated white folks, because of course you hear about Irish towns, you hear about Italian towns, you hear about Greek towns. It's in the South, it's all white. All those people are called white.
I don't know. So here.
Please don't scroll. I'm just trying to become a big content creator one day, but I have no supporters. So if you have the chance, please subscribe.
They'll be, very kind of somewhat explicit with it, with their Confederate flags and whatever, everyone can assume, whatever. In the North, it's not like that. They will just say passive aggressive comments to you all on a consistent basis, and then you gotta play mental jujitsu to see if this person's actually racist, or if they're just an asshole, or if what they're trying to actually say. So that is the difference between the North and the South. How we have to vote. At least from my
Yeah, no, but definitely that's a problem for America, but it's all the people that talk about problems with America's racism. Well, with all honesty, we've had more exposure to different races than other cultures, and so racist people they more open show their true colors in a country where they've, from their point of view, suffered the most from multiculturalism. But I think the best point that I've made, essentially, that America is the least racist nation, is the fact that Canadians leave their country because they're sick of multiculturalism there. I think that, to me, is the best argument that America is not the least racist country. Because how is it that America can find more comfortability with some racist people than other countries that are also?
What's your argument? Necro, America is not as racist as
people, saying we are because we can.
I don't think it's the most racist country, but I also don't agree with Mojo, who says that it's the least racist country. And like I said, the reason I think that is because you have Canada, which has pretty good amount of multiculturalism themselves, if not more multiculturalism. And I know of Canadians who leave their country because they're sick of the multiculturalism and come here to America because of it. So how is it? So it doesn't seem to me like it seems to me that America is more comfortable with the racist mind. That seems to be evident that America is more comfortable to the racist mind than Canada.
Well, we are a melting pot. It is what it is.
Yeah, I would agree that there's definitely been more integration of their countries. That's why I disagree with the idea that America is the most racist country, like Hakima will say. I mean, I definitely contend with that.
And Hakima's eyes, don't he?
Oh, I didn't even know Hakim was in the audience.
Hakima's like, wait.
Worldwide. All of like the bangers in this space are in the audience. Hakima, Wallace, Hulky, Matt. What's going on? Everyone's waiting up to
Chickens.
Yeah, I love Hakima.
I
We disagree, but and there's some things I wish he would not support, but I still love the guy. He gave me a thumbs down. Hakima, you make me feel so special.
Well, Hakima's respectful. He agrees to disagree respectfully.
Yeah, no, that's definitely true.
I'm usually respectful. I have my moments.
I'm mostly a nice person.
Hakima,
I can be an asshole. Not always, but I can.
Yeah, if y'all miss me, just say that.
I miss you, Hakima.
I miss you, Hakima.
Hey, everybody. Hey, man.
Hey, what's up, man? Happy Labor Day weekend.
Same to you.
I have been laying, well, this is totally off topic, but I think I'm just gonna do a chill weekend. I'm not, everyone wants to do all sorts of things, and I'm like, I just kind of want to lay on my couch.
I just want to address somebody said in the chat saying we had a black president. Yeah, and it was also the first president where there were conspiracy theories about him not being a legitimate American-born citizen. One where there were conspiracy theories that he was that he was secretly a Muslim, that inviting him to America means inviting Al Qaeda into America. There's definitely, a lot of racial racism that was presented when Obama became president. So I don't think the idea that America had a black president is really something that works as favorably. I think it's evident that most Americans don't care about race. But to suggest that racism is not a problem because we had a black president, I think is a very weak argument.
So this is going to be controversial, but I do think in the next 20 years when a lot of the old people die, it will be to the benefit of the nation. Because I feel like there's a lot of lingering problems at the upper end of society that will be what they're passing next will just be better for the.
So, Mother, I would contend with that statement mostly because, do you not see how that can have social implications that will be harmful to old people?
I have a racist grandma, so I'm mostly speaking from my perspective. I'm like, the woman is openly racist, and when she died, I was like, good riddance. The way that you think is just gone. So I do know what I'm saying is controversial, but I'm mostly projecting from my own experience.
Yeah, but is that something you would want to see, we have
not even the financial piece of it; it's the ideological piece of it that I more or less struggle with. Like I do think elderly people are ideological. They hold the country back in a lot of ways from progressing on like societal issues in many aspects. At least that's my perspective. But I'm not even talking about how expensive they are to take care of, which is also true.
Hey, I'm 55. I feel like I'm a bridge for my youngins, and so they don't forget history. A lot of them don't know history. They don't get taught it, so they may likely repeat it.
Slippers, I just saw your comment in the chat. Like this is the thing with also the concept of like racism, right? When you just like this is a problem with this app. When you call everything racist, the word loses its value. Like at a certain point, like I used to come on Clubhouse and I was like, oh my god, this person told me that this other person is racist. Like I can't associate with them. And then I spent more time on this app and I was like, some people on this app will call anything that they don't agree with as racist. And now I can't trust anything that people are saying. And then some people will call me racist because I lied for mass deportations and because I don't like Muslims, which is
Hey, George, you big stupid dummy. You're an anti-Semite. You're a Jew hater, punk, you big goofball, you big stupid dummy. Look at all the big stupid dummies in your room. Your Honor is a big, super stupid dummy, bigger than Frank. The point is a white guy pretending to be a black woman. He's a gay.
Islam's a religion.
Red will claim that Islamophobic. I will add that to my LinkedIn because I really don't like the culture and the people that fall into Islam, and I would prefer they weren't.
Well, I think that falls under xenophobia.
I'm afraid of all of you, okay? For whole different reasons, but every single one of you I fear. Because I'm a sensitive kind of person. And humans, have the ability to do things to me mentally that nothing else on this earth possibly can. So humans as a whole, especially organized groups of humans, scare the absolute shit out of me. Which is why I respond to all of you with such sarcasm and durability all the time. Because it's easier than going dark and having to deal with the repercussions of people that hurt feelings and when people feel othered or anything like that and what comes from that. People will attack. I don't like being attacked. So I'm cool with everybody. I don't give a shit because none of you, your outer shell means nothing to me about who you are. Nothing. But who you are inside, oh, that speaks volumes. So you're
Hillary, you don't think people are true on here? Is that what you mean? That you think everyone's creating or presenting?
No, I'm talking in person. I'm talking about here. I'm talking about in person when I meet somebody. Don't care about what they look like whatsoever. I mean, you can be homeless and I'm totally freaking cool with you, sitting there, whatever you want to do. But the second you say or do something that I fear you now, the second you show me your true cards, like I don't think I can be alone with you because you're going to do something. And that goes for somebody who is the president of the United States or somebody who is shot in the shoes of somebody on Bourbon Street. You know, the differences there are nothing compared to your economic status, who you are, whatnot, what you perceive to, or what you show the world. All of that pretense is great. That's fine for you. But when you show me who you are, I will fear the fuck out of it, or I will love, cherish, respect, and protect you. But none of it has to do with your religion or your color of your skin.
Yeah, Hillary, I mean, I just imagine your real life and like, you know, when I'm crying or something like that, you just like tell somebody something like it's like his neck brothers, like your scumbag Larry's having a moment. It's like, yeah, I just hit certain and you're like, I said he's having a moment. No, leave him alone.
I haven't heard that.
What?
That's hilarious. No, I love you, Necro. I do, and I think that one of the things that is hard and rough here for you is that you're a lot like me, and you see people at face value, and then you realize later that it was a troll, and you get really, it hurts when you spend time and effort, you know, talking with somebody, getting to know somebody, feeling that you know them, that you're friend or something, and then it comes out, oh no, that was a troll the whole time, and fuck you. It's very annoying. But you put your heart on your sleeve, Necro, and I respect that a lot. I got your back, dude.
Yeah, but I mean, as far as being afraid of people, I mean, so aren't you,
you didn't see me in real life.
Why? I wouldn't be afraid of you in the least.
Oh, really?
I know you. I've got to know you over years.
That's what I'm saying, is that your outer shell is your outer shell. We're all cursed or blessed with one, and it doesn't really matter what it looks like, because very little of that has to do with who we are. Yeah, okay, if you go down to a fundamental psychology of it, yes, if you grew up fat and unattractive, you probably will have a different personality type than if you grew up very privileged and pretty. That's fact, okay? But at the core of it, if you're a good person or you're an evil person, that matters a fuckload more to me than whatever husk you're stuck in.
Yeah, I see John in the chat. So, John, now I feel like you're full of shit. The reason I gave you the $5 that I gave you.
Too late. We already got the $5 on.
Wait, hold on. Somebody just said nobody chooses to grow fat. I did not say that somebody chose to grow fat. That's not what I'm saying at all. What I'm saying is your external husk does not matter. Genetically, you could have been predispositioned.
Hold on, Hillary. I need to apologize to John. I moved him down earlier because there's just so many civil wars going on in Clubhouse. I didn't know. So I needed to since I moved him down publicly, I need to apologize publicly. John, I'm sorry. Apparently, you're not one of the list of people that we are supposed to curate the space from. So I'm sorry.
Wait, that's the guy who streams. That's the guy who streams the rooms, right?
Blacklisted. Oh, thank God.
Yeah, so, I mean, yeah, John,
Do me a favor.
yeah, I mean, you can off your $5. It makes you happy, because I will never get it back. But
I'll give you $5 and then John can owe me the $5. How about that?
Thanks for the $5, Sandra.
trust that John's gonna give me back $5. That's okay.
I've got his back, so I'll give you the $5 and he gets paid back someday, whatever.
I don't need the $5.
Then the problem solved. Woohoo! See, look at that. I should be president.
You're not. I'm not.
more annoyed at the fact that I gave him I supported him when he is against releasing the Epstein files. So
I'm not. I record everything.
I supported him for many years. Here's why. Have you ever heard? Like, he's actually a very intelligent guy. Have you ever heard him perform? Like, do his improv and all that? There's a few hidden talents on this app that I cannot believe are not on main stage Hollywood, and John's one of them. I mean, he's got the voices, the characters. I mean, he's got it down. He's good. I would literally pay money to subscribe to
Hillary, just letting you know, I might have an internship in Orange County, so that's probably where the next step.
That's awesome. You know, that's where Adam's.
I've been here. It's like, I get trashed.
I think it's interesting. I have a friend who is like, Josh the Jedi.
Nonstop. I have to defend.
I can't hear you.
Do you know Josh the Jedi?
I have to defend myself.
Josh the Jedi?
He's a comedian in real life.
I
met up with him when I was out in California.
No. Everybody was acting. They're a comedian.
Yeah, he just warned me there's a lot of Republicans in Orange County.
Don't worry, they're not going to try to convert you. Nobody's going to come touch you on your
I don't break rules, so I broke in. I have no choice but to
used to it. Like, I grew up in a very, I've always lived in the suburbs, so, of course. But Orange County these days actually has been voting pretty blue. But yeah, historically they've been pretty Republican.
Your no-nose is crazy.
Nah, that's cool, man. I don't know if you're good friends with Adam.
I care less. I'll just record it.
He'd be a really cool person to hook up with over there, you know?
He blames me, you know, like, he made him
whatever you want to do.
perceived as a bully.
Won't make a difference.
He's very much got the jazz hands when it comes to reading you, like, from up one side down the other, and he does it style. And you've got to respect the game on something like that.
No, I mean, like, to me, I actually try to assure people as isn't bullying at all.
Oh, I'm running.
How do you be a bully? Somebody teach me. Fatima, how do you be a bully? Well, you know Monica would know her. She know Monica.
I've never been able to do it. I've never wanted really to do it, but what do you think makes a bully successful at being a bully? Because if I go threaten somebody, unless I'm really coming at you, if I'm really coming at you, you run. Because nobody's this nice all the time without having some dark shit, deep down. But I mean, if I try to like snap back with people, I can't do it. And I'm just curious, what makes it hit differently when a bully does it than,
I think
like some like 14-year-old kid the other day told me I wasn't cute anymore, and that should hurt. I should not have given a shit what that little kid said. Like, what the fuck? And it was just the way that she said it. She goes, "Don't blame me because you're not cute anymore." I was like, "Bitch."
Yeah, I think you have to be like a complete sigma if you're going to be a successful bully.
Okay, I am a Gen X. I need you to talk to me in real.
Hold on, Hillary. You just say introduce me to your daddy and let's find out.
Do whatever you want to do.
See, this is what mine has it. I don't.
You don't know what a sigma is?
Whatever you want to do.
A sigma male?
I'm assuming Sigma's gonna be like, I don't know. No, I know what an alpha male is. I know what a beta male is.
It's pretty much an alpha male, but we're essentially got the same
Richard just said it's a gay male.
No, so it's basically a lone wolf. It's like someone who has the same traits as an alpha male that refuses to, refuses to be alone.
Somebody else explain this to me because it's not working. That's just a human.
This isn't a special
The bully
space.
is getting gratification from someone else's pain. So right off the top, the bully is masking something or a lack within their own self. Someone like me, I'm analyzing the bully to see what that pain is, because to even choose to be a bully, that's a chink in your armor as well, because it shows weakness to me. It shows lack, and so I'm analyzing
Enjoy your space.
what the chink in their armor is, or what pain they're hiding, and how they're getting the validation and the gratification from seeing someone else in pain. So I'm analyzing them, and intellectually, I will challenge them, and even get down to a psychological point to even make them look at their own selves.
Bullying anyone.
So, because I really can't stand bullies, but I prefer to come at them in an intellectual way.
Her namesake was literally taken down by a bully and lost his life and the life of his wife from a bully. From like us. So that's interesting that you also are very anti-bully. Sorry, that's me a moment there.
I've heard of maybe 2 types of bullies that already. So, like, for instance, I'm telling your brain there's some kind of internal pain. So, earlier when I said I like to bully the police, that's because at one point in time I was bullied before, and then there's someone to check up for me, so in the future now.
Your microphone is
okay. Somebody else talking. I mean, another mic. Somebody else talking. I mean, another mic. Give me a few minutes.
Okay. Because I want to hear what you have to say, but it's a little muffled.
See, I was bullied pretty bad for a minute in high school, but I have a big brother. He's dead now, but he died when he was 19. He's a great guy. I know to me that that he's the reason why I wasn't getting messed with anymore, but yeah, it took about 1 or 2 times before people were like, you know what? Forget it. It's not worth dealing with Chris to mess with Hillary. So people just kind of stopped. And I don't really give people a reason to bully me other than I'm nice, and people tend to want to take advantage of nice people because they see it as a chump or something like that. But you have no idea what's really going on under the surface of somebody. You have no idea what they've been through, what they've survived, what they've had to do with their life. It's just never a good idea to fuck with somebody who's that happy because they are nice, because you just don't fucking know.
So, can you guys hear me clearly? Yes.
Yes, much better.
Samsung always does that. All right. So, what I was saying was, you are completely correct, Othello. At some point in time, the bully, or really any individual, is doing something based on something they had to experience, right? So when I admitted earlier that I like to bully time, specifically age 13 and below, I had to deal with bullies. And it wasn't until, I gained some skills and knowledge of self that I learned, and some physicality. I learned how to bully the bullies, right? So that brings me to say this in our land. There's two types of bullies. There's the bully that's defending someone else and their past self, right? They're doing it for a common positive cause. And then there's the number two is the bully who just likes to pick on someone that they know is indefensible, right? They know that person is weaker, or they know that person isn't going to strike them back. And that's the kind of bully that I don't like. See, if I like a challenge, if you really want to be tough, pick on someone that might be tougher than you and step your game up.
And I think for me, I love what you said. And I think for me, which means I'm so thankful for my Buddhist journey, because it taught me compassion, and it taught me that even dark spirits can be transformed back into their light selves. And so I had to learn not to be so consumed by wrath and vengeance and bullying the bully to the point where I started taking on that anger and hate in my own heart. You know what I mean? And then I become just like them. So I had to learn the art of war, where they say, build your opponent a golden bridge so that they can retreat and not press too hard. And in turn, kind of teach them as well, in your dealings with them, so that they can ultimately transform through love and compassion.
Well, I like that.
Well, I was bullied heavily in middle school. Fuck bullies. Shout out to the bullies of bullies. I have no compassion for the bully. Fuck the bully. The child bully and the adult bully. Fuck these kids. If I had kids, they were being bullied. Yeah, they're going to jiu-jitsu, karate class, something. Because we fucking bullies up.
There's my baby girl. Finally. Where the hell you been? I was here this whole time waiting for you to jump in.
Girl, I was back here eating lunch. I was eating lunch and listening, and I think to myself, oh, those girls terrorized me in middle school. Terrorized to the point where I did not go to the local high school. You know, the high school you're supposed to go to,
Yeah.
Yeah, no. I told my parents, I'll never forget, I said, please do not send me to that school. I cannot go through four more years of these girls bullying me. I said, if you send me to that school, I'm not going to school. I don't even know how I would have pulled that off. But I had decided I was going to protest. I'm not going to go to that school and be bullied. And God bless my parents. They sacrificed. They sent me to I had to go to a private school in an adjacent neighborhood. They had to come out of pocket something pretty to pay for me to go to that private school. And it was the best 4 years of my life. All right? And I wouldn't trade my high school years for nothing in the world. Thank God for my parents and the sacrifice they made to send me to that school. Because those girls tormented me. And on this app, I hate bullies on this app. I hate bullies in the workplace. Fuck bullies. I hope there's a special place in hell. I don't care. If they're kids, I get it, because oftentimes, like someone just noted, the bully, especially as a youth, they're challenged, they're projecting something going on at home. So you pray for those kids. You want them to get help. But by the time they become adults, if they don't have it together, special helps.
I don't like bullies either. And then also, I'm very mindful of Nietzsche. When fighting monsters, be careful not to become one.
See, I hear things like that, and I just gotta say this. Right before COVID, I went through a whole thing. I used to make really, really good money. I used to build call centers. So, I don't mean I physically built it. I mean, I would go in after they were built, and I would go train the new people coming in, and I would build up the business for people. And I did really, really well with it. Very, very good at cold call sales and things like that. And then COVID happened, and something interesting happened during that time while I was in the hospital. I made friends with my demons in a way I can't even explain it. It's metaphysical. Can't even explain the transformation I went through. But yeah, they kept saying exercise your demons. I went and got us all gym memberships, and we look fantastic. Just saying. I think that when you embrace your dark, you can truly shine with your light. But you gotta understand why and how and what your darkness means.
Good Lord, if you only knew.
And only then can you ever really truly be able to be
Lord.
free and happy of it.
If you only knew. Yeah. If you only knew you. Puke. Good Lord, if you only knew you. Good Lord, if you only knew you. Puke.
I never wanted to stay. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I totally agree with what you guys were saying, and even like with what Othello said, right? You know, with you have to be careful of not becoming exactly what you're fighting against. Because if you see someone, I'm in the middle of talking. I'm at the middle of
a lot of
so you know, even if you're defending someone, right? You have to be careful. Sometimes you have to have context because say I'm walking down the street and I see somebody just punch somebody in the face and I go, oh, that's a bully, and then I try to, go and punch the person who was punching someone in the face. Well, I don't know what happened before I came around that corner, right? That could have been a fight that was started by the other person. So that's very true. But at the same token, I think things are more like what Nye said, on a common sense, on a common level. People tend to. How often have you guys, and I'll land with this, how often have you been, whether on this app or in reality, just been minding your business, doing your own thing, not paying attention to what everybody else is doing, and here comes somebody just fucking with you, just to fuck with you. Or you're doing something great, you're great at something, and then here comes people just trying to tear you down because you're getting attention, right? So I just think those kind of people need to be done. That's all.
What is that with the mindset of people who cannot accept that anyone else is able to do good? Someone else doing good doesn't mean you're doing bad. It just means someone else is doing good. The fact that people cannot let others have that moment drives me fucking crazy. And I see it so much in my career path. Like, really, I'm a casting director, and I see people that will just destroy someone because they got a role. Man, that wasn't your role. It wasn't meant for you. Just chill out. We'll get you something tomorrow. But, like, you don't have to destroy that other person just because, you feel there's some kind of slight against you because they didn't care for you.
Can we talk about for a second the fact that, like, there doesn't even have to be anything for them to be envious of? What is the psychology of fucking people deciding to open a room and disparage the character of other people that they've never even fucking really engaged in a conversation with? What is the psychology of that? Because, I don't understand it. I don't understand why is that for shits and giggles to sit up there on a stage, make up all kinds of atrocious, vile lies about somebody that you don't even know, that you've probably never engaged in more than, slight pleasantries with? Like, what is the psychology?
Do you think, like, literally just for the acceptance of others or for the others to rally around them? I mean, I don't know. So I'm asking, is it that? Is it that they need that, psychic energy or whatever you want to call it? Attention, yeah.
Well, Hillary, when I said Nietzsche said when fighting monsters, be careful not to become one. What happens when you look, if everything looks like a nail, you're gonna act like a hammer, and that's not always true. So that they ran out of real monsters, and then they started manufacturing some. But like the facade of people on Clubhouse. This goes back to Nye's brilliant comment on the street or the area that she was afraid to go to because everyone said you're going